tonight after the Olympics.
A tip about a roommate leads to a Missouri mayor's arrest. What police found that got her in trouble. Plus, this local woman arrested for having dangerous sex. What she allegedly did that has police worried about public health.
We hope that it'll be a message, a billboard that is expressing hope.
These billboards claim a special program can change your sexual preference. How it's done, and hear from someone who claims to be converted. We'll see you tonight after the Winter Games.
Now, here's a news update from News Channel 5.
A pursuit turns deadly in St. Louis.
Suspects in a Bronco flash a gun at police and then crash into another vehicle. An innocent man is dead, his wife in critical condition. The 3 suspects in the Bronco are also injured but are expected to survive.
Plus, charges are upgraded to first-degree murder against an airman at Scott. Prosecutors say he shook his infant daughter, causing her death. We'll see you back here at 10:30.
This is News Channel 5, St. Louis's only news in high definition.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for this late edition of News Channel 5. A man was killed tonight and his wife critically injured when their vehicle was hit by another vehicle fleeing police.
The crash also injured 3 men in the SUV that was being chased. News Channel 5's Rebecca Wu has our top story. Rebecca?
Mike and Karen, the St. Louis police chief says the department has strict policies on when to give chase. And he says tonight's pursuit was justified. The victim's red Chevy Blazer was heavily damaged. A husband and wife in their 50s were on Broadway near Schiller when they were hit head-on. The husband died at the scene. His wife was taken to the hospital in critical condition. St. Louis police were chasing this Ford SUV when the crash happened around 6:30 p.m. Police say 3 suspects inside the vehicle have been in trouble with the law.
One of them is wanted for driving a stolen automobile and resisting arrest. Presently, another one of the occupants of the car has a previous history. The officers recognize him because he shot at the actual officers previously.
Police say they initially tried to stop the suspects for driving erratically when one of them pulled out a gun.
They actually not only flourished the gun, but on North Broadway here, they fired a shot from the automobile at the police.
One of the suspects was thrown out of the vehicle when it hit the Blazer. The other 2 were pulled out after the SUV caught on fire. One of them also has a bullet wound.
One of the occupants in the car is suffering from a gunshot wound that seems very fresh, and it's our speculation, it's merely speculation, that they may have accidentally shot one of them. So one of them may have shot themselves during this pursuit.
Police estimate the suspects were going about 70 to 80 miles per hour. Chief Joe Mokwa says his officers were justified in chasing the suspects.
If you recognize people that are wanted for driving stolen automobiles, flourishing guns at the police, at some point we have to take some action, or we can just give the city streets up to these kind of people.
Police say the suspects also knocked another vehicle on its side at Grand and Broadway during the chase, but that person is okay. Mike and Karen.
Okay, thanks, Rebecca. The mayor of Irondale, Missouri faces criminal charges involving methamphetamine. News Channel 5's Ann Rubin has this story on the Night Beat.
Initially, investigators went to talk to the mayor's live-in boyfriend, but when they searched their house, they say they found meth and the ingredients to make it. This is the small town of Irondale. It has a few hundred residents and one main street. Jennifer Hamelback has been the mayor here since April. She was arrested Thursday at her home just 2 blocks from City Hall.
During the search of the residence, they located white powdery substance which was suspected to be methamphetamines.
Hamelback and her live-in boyfriend, Jeffrey Thurman, were charged with possession of methamphetamine and the ingredients to make meth. They were taken into custody and posted bond a day later.
She makes a lot of decisions for the town. You know, she's supposed to be looking out for the interests of the town. So when something like this happens, it puts a lot of questions in people's minds.
A lot of questions and a lot of doubts from some residents here.
She's not representing our town very good. We thought it was too bad for our mayor personally, and too bad for the city.
Debbie Porter is president of the Board of Aldermen. She says Hamelback has not contacted her or anyone else at City Hall since the arrest. For now, she remains mayor.
Nothing will change in the day-to-day operations. We'll just continue as we have been.
She says it is business as usual here. Still, the arrest has been difficult for this tight-knit community.
Everyone knows her. You know, everyone knows her family, so everyone wants the best for her.
Hamelback was unavailable for comment. Irondale officials hope to discuss her status as mayor before the next town meeting in March. Mike?
And thanks. A Scott Air Force Base airman is charged with murdering his infant daughter. 23-year-old George Norris is accused of violently shaking his 18-day. The infant died during the weekend. The case could end up in federal court because the crime happened at the Air Force Base.
Case is under jurisdiction of the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department. So being that as it is, right now the case as far as the Air Force is concerned is still under investigation and no charges have been filed.
Norris has been in the Air Force 4.5 years and spent 7 months serving in Iraq. He returned from Iraq last February.
A pregnant St. Charles woman is in jail tonight, charged with knowingly exposing her sexual partners to the virus that causes AIDS. 26-year-old Angela Dawn Harris was arrested Saturday after relatives told police she was exposing a boyfriend to HIV. Harris was diagnosed with the virus when she was 13 years old. Police are concerned other men in St. Charles, Lincoln, and St. Louis counties may have also been exposed.
Miss Harris was probably having sex with multiple victims and not telling most of the victims that she was having sex with.
I don't think she did it on purpose. I really don't think that she set out to do anything on purpose.
The number one thing people need to remember to do is the prevention. If they have questions or concerns whether or not they are HIV positive, see your local healthcare professional.
Harris is being held on $75,000 cash bond. One of her 4 children tested positive for HIV, drugs, and alcohol when it was born. Her mother says she is once again pregnant.
Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich plans to speed up DNA testing by doing more work in Illinois crime labs instead of outsourcing some cases to private labs. The governor will propose money for the project in his state budget proposal this week. He wants $1.8 million to expand 2 Illinois State Police crime labs. The current processing time for DNA is about 80 days. The state police hope to cut that time to 30 days. This was the first day on the job for the new head of Wentzville Schools. 62-year-old Edward Katcher retired from the Orchard Farm School District 3 years ago. Decades ago, he dropped out of Rittner High School, but eventually went on to earn several college degrees. His experience includes time in the Fort Zumwalt and Mexico, Missouri school systems. Superintendent Thomas Burns is on indefinite paid leave. Burns is charged with stalking a co-worker and offering her money for sex.
A billboard promising to change homosexuals has caught the attention of several local drivers on highways. News Channel 5's Cordell Whitlock has the closer look.
The billboards are associated with Focus on the Family, an organization calling itself a Christian group promoting family values. These billboards are positioned along major interstates in the St. Louis area. They are sponsored by a group tied to the organization Focus on the Family. Their website promotes the belief homosexuality is preventable and treatable. The billboards coincide with a conference on the issue to be held in Manchester.
We're trying to make the public aware of some issues related to homosexuality, as well as offer hope to men and women who are dissatisfied, again, living homosexually.
We think it's a message that needs to be heard.
Ed Harris is executive director of First Evangelical Free Church of St. Louis County, where Focus on the Family will be holding their conference.
You'll have people that have been involved in the gay community, teaching about the root causes of homosexuality, some of the treatment of homosexuality, and how we should respond.
There is nothing to be cured because...
Clinical psychologist Randy Mosener says homosexuality is not considered an illness or disorder, and most people's sexuality falls on a continuum.
And within that continuum, you know, if you're at one extreme or the other, you probably have very little choice at what or whom you're attracted to. And so to suggest to those people that they have any choice at all is absurd.
Intolerant and ignorant is how some in the gay community describe the church's efforts. Harris says he understands the opposition, but the conference is simply offering another view on homosexuality.
We do believe that it is wrong, but we want to respond in a way that reflects God's love, in a way that is not hostile to them.
The Focus on the Family Conference will be February 25th. Ed Harris says his church is expecting between 500 and 1,000 people to attend. Karen and Mike.
Cordell, thanks. New details tonight of wasteful spending in the wake of Hurricane Katrina.
What some of those evacuee debit cards were really used for.